Coming soon to a pharmacy near you. Persuasion. Something meant to get you to do or believe something.
Look over yonder. What do you see? The sun is rising, most definitely. A new day's coming. Ooh, people are changing. Ain't it beautiful? Ooh, crystal blue persuasion. Better get ready. Gonna see the light. Love is the answer. And that's alright. So don't you give up now. So easy to find. Just look to your soul. Look to your soul. And open your mind. Crystal blue persuasion. It's a new vibration. Crystal blue persuasion. Crystal blue persuasion.
Persuasion and RFID chips are soon coming to your local pharmacy. Thank you for tuning in to Game Changer TV. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where every day we're telling it like it is. Today is June 8th, 2025, and wait till we get into this. Are you ready? Will you be persuaded to participate in this new world? 2025, the year of digital ID. 2025 is indeed shaping up to be a significant year for digital identity, with increased adoption of mobile driver's license, digital credentials, and reusable identity solutions. The UK plans to introduce digital driver's license via a government app. The US is transitioning to real ID compliance, impacting domestic flights and access to federal facilities. Apple is also expanding its own digital ID program nationwide. From ScienceSec, the global rise of digital ID technology in 2025. Digital ID is expanding globally in 2025. Digital IDs are becoming more commonplace worldwide, with many countries now offering passports and driver's license in digital formats on mobile devices. The shift is part of a broader electronic ID landscape. Experts estimate that governments around the world will have issued around 5 billion digital IDs by 2024. This growth is set to continue in 2025, with digital ID adoption expanding further as more organizations, including banks, iGaming platforms, and private sector, implement digital verification solutions. Germany's new government pledges support for digital ID. Ethiopia's digital ID chief lays out roadmap for reaching 90 million enrollments by 2027. Look at this, what he says. Digital ID is not optional. It is a necessity. Another measure, he says, is their alignment with regulations to encourage ID adoption. The National Bank made ID mandatory for opening new bank accounts in Addis starting in January. This fall, it will be extended nationwide. Then, 6 months later, existing account holders will be required to link their accounts with FADA. Cameroon civil society urges persuasive to make you do something you really don't want to do, but by enticements, weighing the pros and cons, convincing you to do it. Cameroon civil society urges persuasive, not punitive, government approach to digital ID initiative. Crystal blue persuasion, making it all a new sun is rising. Cameroon's civil society organizations are asking the government to make some legislative changes that could also change the perception citizens have about the necessity of the national ID card that they are being called upon to obtain. So he's wanting to use a gentle approach to persuade people to get their digital ID. Y'all remember the enticements that they used for people to get their vaccination before it became mandatory? Your free cheeseburger, your free hamburger. Y'all remember all that? Let's review. But then, y'all remember, they started mandating it and people started losing their jobs. It always comes in sweet and innocent in the beginning. Get your free snow cone, your free donuts, your free french fries, get free credits in college, get free days off. Came in nice. And then they started mandating it, and people started losing their jobs, and military personnel started getting kicked out of the military. Y'all remember all this? Teachers started losing their jobs. People started getting kicked out of colleges because universities were mandating it. Government was mandating it. Jobs were mandating it. The military is mandating it. Many individuals lost their jobs by refusing to comply with the COVID-19 vaccine mandates implemented by their employers. So at first it came involuntary, and then it became mandated, and then people started having consequences for their decisions. Now, if it becomes mandated for a digital ID implant, are you going to do that? Let's keep going. It's all fun. At first it's voluntary, then it's mandated. Your statement, at first it's always voluntary, then it's mandated, reflects a common observation in the implementation of policies and regulations. There are several reasons why something initially introduced as voluntary might later become mandatory. Low participation or compliance. If voluntary initiative fails to achieve desired levels of participation or adherence, policymakers may turn to mandates to ensure broader compliance. Countries where digital ID is already mandated. Several countries have implemented mandatory national identification systems, including Argentina, Belgium, Colombia, Germany, Italy, Peru, and Spain. Can national databases be used to enforce compliance? Yes, national databases can be used to enforce compliance with government policy. Databases can be used to track individuals. Y'all keep this in mind. What did Trump just unleash on the American people? Palantir to build databases on Americans. And national databases can be used to enforce compliance with government policy. They can be used to track individuals. Palantir creating national database. Is Trump setting up surveillance databases on Americans? Trump has flipped on us. MAGA reacts to potential national citizen database. Trump ropes in Palantir to compile data on Americans that can track your compliance. Could a national database be used in conjunction with the digital public infrastructure? Yes, national databases can be used in conjunction with digital public infrastructure. And in fact, this is a core element in the development and functioning of digital public infrastructure. Digital public infrastructure is your digital ID, your digital currency, your digital wallet, your digital currencies, and a national database is the core element for your digital ID, your digital currency, and your digital wallet. And Trump is now building our national database in the United States. Data is ammo in biometric authentication arms race. So the whole world is collecting data on their citizens for this digital public infrastructure, and data is the ammo in this new world order. Sri Lanka won registry to bridge gap between citizens and government databases. With help from the UN Development Program and the World Health Organization, along with the UN, Sri Lanka Sustainable Development Goal, and the Sri Lankan government is working on a project called One Registry that will make civil registrations faster, easier to access, and fully digital. Pakistan to harmonize government databases for easier biometric verification. Somalia walking a thorny road to an inclusive national digital ID system. EU wants its digital identity wallet accepted internationally. EUDI wallet crucial for financial sector. Visa executive tells Money 2020. Infant.ID system can effectively address child swaps, child trafficking, and integrated biometrics. The integrated biometrics is a regular exhibitor at ID for Africa, but this year the U.S. biometric firm showcased its first commercially available fingerprint capture device capable of recording a newborn's fingerprint from the moment they are born. Establishing critical identity. World Proof of Personhood scheme launches in Taiwan, expands into Thailand, and now OpenAI WorldCoin is in the United States. Sam Altman, who was seen on the stage with Donald Trump his first day back in office, Sam Altman's eye scanning project launches cryptocurrency in the U.S. World, a project previously known as WorldCoin, has launched in the US, offering users the ability to verify their identity through eye scanning using an orb device. This launch allows Americans to access the ball scanning device, claim WLD tokens, and use the World app. reimagined UK digital ID wallet proposed by Labour think tank. This was from June 6th. The UK government is considering a proposal to issue a national smartphone-based verifiable digital identity credential to every adult in the country called the BRIT card. The mandatory universal national identity credential would be used to prevent illegal immigration. Do y'all see? So they opened the borders wide open, created a crisis worldwide with immigration, illegal immigration, and now they want to fight the illegal immigration that they allowed and opened by controlling it through digital ID. Problem, reaction, solution. Qatar's trust services strategy provides for creation of unified digital ID. Dubai launches biometric blockchain card for secure digital asset management. Finding the use case that makes everyone want a digital wallet. Crystal blue persuasion. Finding the use case that makes everyone want a digital wallet. Selling the lie. Digital license are most important content, but adoption will come on users' terms. Liberia makes national ID enrollment mandatory for citizens and residents. Now it is obligatory for Liberian citizens as well as foreign residents in the country to enroll in the National Biometric Identification System and obtain their digital ID card. Ethiopia's digital ID chief lays out roadmap for reaching 90 million enrollments by 2027. Digital ID is not optional, it is a necessity. Sri Lanka to launch GovPay in milestone for digital government services. Won't be able to get any government services without a digital ID. United Arab Emirates launches digital ID system with facial recognition and biometrics. Papua New Guinea launches integration exercise for national digital identity. Nigeria launches inches towards mandatory citizen registration. Mandatory national IDs and biometric databases. National ID cards and the databases behind them comprise the cornerstone of government surveillance systems. And Trump is allowing a spy agency, Palantir, to create the databases on every American. National ID cards, which they just enacted the Real ID. So they got the Real ID in place. Then they're building the database. National ID cards and databases behind them comprise the cornerstone of government surveillance systems. Creds, PlaySafe ID, target growing business for digital ID in video games. China is actively developing and implementing digital identification systems for online access. So you won't be able to do any ordering. You won't be able to check your email without your digital ID. You think it's going to stop in China? Your kids will need digital ID to play video games online. Greece launches children's digital wallet for online age assurance. So you'll have to get your children registered. But in the future, they're going to register your baby from birth. Groundbreaking biotechnology brings Kenyan newborns into the digital fold on day one. A new biometric vaccination management system designed in Japan promises great impact in Kenya and beyond. Biometric details of newborn infants and their caregivers are being recorded. Doge infiltration into core federal biometric management sets off alarms. Could Doge, the Department of Efficiency, bring digital ID to access government services? While there is no official government department named Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, with direct authority to implement a federal digital ID, there are proponents of the idea who believe a digital ID would align with the goals of such a department, particularly in regards to reducing fraud and improving efficiency. Some affiliates of Elon Musk's U.S. Doge service are reportedly advocating for mandatory identity verification. And now they've got all the access to the biometrics, your information, your date of birth, your social security. They could already be making a dossier of just you. When the RFID chip comes mandatory, all your data will be ready to go for your implant. Wait till we get into this. Microsoft is seeing 1 million passkey registrations daily. Last week, global companies marked the inaugural World Passkey Day, which replaced World Password Day, to the highest safe authentication through encrypted FIDO credentials. Microsoft is seeing nearly 1 million passkeys registered every day, paving the way to eliminating passwords altogether. And what did I look up? Could an RFID chip implant be used as a passkey? Yes, an RFID implant, and Microsoft is seeing 1 million passkeys issued every day. Yes, a RFID chip implant could potentially be used as a passkey, though it is not a common practice yet. The implant could store and securely verify a user's identity similar to a passkey system. Trump plus passkeys. It is worth noting that experts suggest a strong case for the use of passkeys within the U.S. government due to their enhanced security against phishing and potential to save taxpayer money by reducing SMS OTP costs. Furthermore, Trump's own experience with credential theft and the reported internal use of YubiKeys, which are based on FIDO2, the same protocol as passkeys, by Elon Musk companies Tesla, SpaceX, and it's possible that passkeys could be considered for future adoption within the government system. An RFID chip could be a passkey. Chip implants get under your skin so you can leave your keys at home, unlock doors, authenticate your identity, or show off a cool party trick. As companies look to replace two-factor authentication with passkeys, putting these credentials under your skin could be possible. Your passkey can be uploaded to a chip implant that you can verify your identity, as opposed to a hardware key that could get lost or a text message verification that can be duped, according to this person's name. Persuasion, trying to change your opinion about what your core belief system is by selling you what a benefit this is going to be. While RFID chips have been implanted in humans for various purposes, like identifying patients, or unlocking doors, according to the National Association Boards of Pharmacy blog, the integration of these technologies into broader pharmacy practice and patient care is still in its early stages of development and facing challenges like regulatory hurdles and societal acceptance. The idea of drugstores being equipped to handle widespread RFID implementation in the future is possible, but relies on several factors. Here we go. Here we go. Wait till this video keeps going. Coming soon to a pharmacy near you. Get your RFID chip for authentication, for vaccine records, for safety and security. Wait till this unfolds. Could digital identity reduce fraud, waste, and abuse? Yes, a digital ID has the potential to significantly reduce waste, fraud, and abuse. And what's been in the headline, y'all? An RFID can be the solution to this. 2 days ago, one day ago, eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse from the White House. Eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid. State Republicans open the door to cutting Medicare waste. How to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse. And a digital ID has the potential to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse, particularly in government services and in financial transactions. March 10th, 2025, Congress warms up to digital IDs. 2023, Thomson Reuters, using ID verification to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse. Y'all hear the code words yet? GovLoop, 4 days ago, automated identity proofing takes a bite out of waste, fraud, and abuse. Dr. Oz, who I've shown in the past, has been promoting a digital ID implant. Dr. Oz uncovers billions in Medicare and Medicaid fraud, waste, and abuse. Fraud, waste, and abuse. Dr. Oz, who has promoted the RFID chip, is using the same terminology that's being conditioning people to accept the need for digital ID that can be implanted into your body, making the same selling points. Dr. Oz promotes RFID microchips, the mark of the beast.
The latest breakthroughs. Turns out one of the biggest discoveries is actually this tiny. See how small that is? This little chip may be the next big thing, and it sounds like it's right from a sci-fi movie, but people all over the world are implanting these into their wrists.
And they can be used as passkeys for safety and security and to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in the government. And an implanted RFID digital ID will push digital payment revenue higher. More money for the government. A digital ID can be considered efficient as it streamlines identity verification processes, making it quicker and easier to access services online by eliminating the need for physical documents and in-person verification. Coming soon to a pharmacy near you. Remember, they were giving out the vaccines. Will the next thing be the local pharmacy being used to inject the implantable RFID chip? 2021, Walgreens, CVS, and other pharmacies are now offering the COVID-19 vaccination. Remember, they were even vaccinating children and giving children the adult doses. Even the Walmart pharmacies were giving out these vaccines. As COVID vaccines roll out, independent pharmacies started giving out the vaccines. In the future, could the drugstore located on every corner be equipped to implant RFID chips? Well, some people already have voluntarily implanted RFID chips for various uses like access control or contactless payments. That was the first time we heard that word during COVID. Going to Popeyes, they give you a little basket to put your card in. Then you hand them the basket. Then they touch your card anyway to scan it. And then they put it back in the basket and hand it to you. You both touched it anyway, but we saw signs, contactless payments. While some people have already voluntarily implanted RFID chips for various uses like access control or contactless payments, the widespread adoption of RFID chip implementation in drugstores or similar non medical locations to chip large numbers of people is unlikely in the near future due to significant hurdles. Safety and medical concerns, ethical and privacy concerns, legal and regulatory landscape. In summary, while technology continues to advance, the path to widespread human RFID chip implementation at every corner drugstore is currently blocked by significant safety, ethical, and legal considerations that would need to be addressed before such a scenario becomes viable. Well, guess what? It's already been approved. RFID chip implants have already been approved for human implants by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration of the U.S. government. Yes, the FDA that approved the COVID vaccines already has approved the implantable RFID chips for human use, specifically for VeriChip, a microchip that stores a unique ID number linked to a patient's medical records. This allows doctors to access patient information by scanning the chip with a handheld device. And y'all remember, XRP already has the RFID technology for payments, and the FDA has already approved that microchips can be put in people. Does the FDA have control in pandemics? Yes, the FDA plays a critical role in addressing pandemics, particularly concerning the development and availability of medical products. And they've already okayed human implants, RFID chips. Is it possible that in the future, walk-in medical clinics could offer the option of implanting RFID frequency chips for identification purposes? Potential benefits for RFID implants. Improved patient identification. RFID implants can offer a secure and unique way to identify patients, reducing the risk of misidentification errors. Enhanced patient safety. And y'all, CVS has involvement with World Economic Forum. Walgreens has a connection to World Economic Forum. Walgreen Boots Alliance is a global leader in retail pharmacy, impacting millions of lives every day by dispensing medicines and providing access to high-quality care. So the people pushing the globalist agenda want to put mandates on people. They're all connected together. The pharmacies are connected to the government. They're connected to the World Economic Forum. They're all rolling out the same agenda with digital ID, digital passports, passkeys, digital wallets, digital currencies. And it can all be facilitated at the local pharmacy that is connected to the World Economic Forum. Do y'all see the plan rolling out? While the implementation of RFID digital IDs in the emergency room for mandatory use remains a topic of discussion, particularly regarding ethical and privacy concerns, the technology is becoming increasingly prevalent in healthcare settings, and its applications are likely to expand in the future. So it won't be limited to healthcare. Ethical concerns, forced implementation. Ethical concerns is once they start offering it to you, that forced implementation, just like the vaccine, and the potential for misuse of personal data raise significant ethical concerns. But it is possible that in the future, walk-in medical clinics could offer the option of implanting RFID chips for identification purposes.
Folks, I've only been telling you this for about 5 years or so. United Arab Emirates is eliminating ID cards. Yes, let's read. The United Arab Emirates has announced it has developed and tested biometric ID that will eliminate the need to present a physical card. That's where all this goes, everybody. Now let's take it back to 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And we can take it back to Ripple Labs. We can take it back to MIT, where Gary Gensler came from. 2014, they have a what? New digital framework for digital ID? What? Trust and open data. Look, Ripple had all this stuff planned out. I've been telling you guys for 5 years. They've had it all planned out.
So here's Ripple with the chip implant that can be used for your digital currency and your digital identity, and they've been planning it since 2014. Here it is.
Hello and welcome to our Hackathon project video, where we showcase our innovative solution for the future of digital payments. Our project is called How Ripple CBDC Chip Implants Can Transform Your Life. Ripple is a company that provides solutions for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and stablecoins, which are digital versions of fiat currencies that are backed by reserves or assets. Ripple's CBDC platform offers a comprehensive platform for minting, managing, transacting, and each solution is built on a private ledger that is based on XRP ledger technology, a proven blockchain that has transacted over 70 million times over the course of 10 years, and is trusted by financial institutions around the world. Ripple is currently working with more than 20 countries on CBDC plans, including Palau and Montenegro, who have chosen to partner with Ripple to create their national digital currencies. One of the key benefits of CBDCs and stablecoins is that they can enable faster, cheaper, and more inclusive payments for millions of people who are unbanked or underbanked. According to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, CBDCs in developing countries have the potential to bank large unbanked populations and boost financial inclusion. But how can you access these digital currencies in a convenient and secure way? That's where Ripple's CBDC chip implants come in. A chip implant is a small device that is inserted under your skin and contains a unique identifier and a secure cryptographic key. With a chip implant, you can store, send, and receive CBDCs and stablecoins using your own body as a wallet. You can also use your chip implant to authenticate yourself, access services, and make transactions without the need for passwords, cards, or cash.
Persuasion. And these chips have already been introduced and given approval by the FDA, initially for medical reasons, but its uses are being expanded. And now Ripple has the implantable RFID chip for our financial future that's already been approved by our government. And the FDA has a lot of control during pandemics, and they could say, hey, we need the RFID chip, because y'all remember the RFID chip can be used for tracking, keeping up who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been vaccinated. That same chip can be used for your digital ID. That same chip can be used for your universal payments, can be used for your medical history, your financial transactions, your access to the government, your ability to get online. And it's all been approved to be able to be put in your body.
Palantir announces a new mega program with the Trump government. And not just any program, but Palantir's specialty, a digital mass surveillance system to target you and your family and all the rest of us. The Economic Times reported that, quote, Palantir isn't just improving old databases, it's building what some experts are calling the most expansive civilian surveillance infrastructure in U.S. history. Instead of scattered files and spreadsheets, the platform will use real-time data integration and artificial intelligence to profile behavior, detect fraud, and identify individuals or patterns deemed risky by the system. At the core of the project is Palantir's Gotham software. Already used by defense and intelligence agencies, Gotham will now be used on the domestic front. It doesn't just track information, it makes judgments. It could influence everything from how benefits are distributed to who gets flagged for closer scrutiny by law enforcement or immigration officers. So, good. They're deploying military surveillance AI to watch our every move and decide who the government should bug. And by bug, I mean investigate, harass, arrest, and probably more. And while the Economic Times reported that they would be deploying a technology called Gotham, Raw's Story reported about a different product called Foundry. This article reads, the push has put a key Palantir product called Foundry into at least 4 federal agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security and the Health and Human Services Department, the newspaper reported. Widely adopting Foundry, which organizes and analyzes data, paves the way for Mr. Trump to easily merge information from different agencies, the government officials said. Creating detailed portraits of Americans based on government data is not just a pipe dream. The company has received also new contracts from the Pentagon and is speaking to the Social Security Administration and the Internal Revenue Service about buying its technology, according to 6 government officials and knowledgeable Palantir employees. And Democratic lawmakers have warned that Trump could use the personal information to target immigrants and punish his critics. And that is exactly the wrong narrative to push, guys. Bad, Raw Story. Bad. This is clearly a leftist argument that they are making. They could use this to target immigrants. No. They could and will use this to target anyone and everyone. This won't just get used on critics of the Trump administration. It will get used on critics of every future American government until the end of America, because that's how government works. Once you give them a power, they never give it back.
And in April of this year, Trump signed an executive order on militarizing local police agencies. Trump executive order. President Trump has signed executive orders that critics argue promote militarization of local police department and reduce accountability for law enforcement. Here's his executive order called Strengthening and Unleashing American Law Enforcement. My administration will therefore establish best practices at the state and local levels for cities to unleash high-impact local police forces. It could potentially mean that local police will be trained for and provided with military weapons and surveillance technology. Trump's order on policing is a recipe for abuse. And here is state police in Louisiana. This is Baton Rouge, Slidell, Louisiana, and Claiborne Avenue in New Orleans. So somebody took a picture of the militarized state police vehicles in Louisiana that can have military equipment, and they will be trained by the military patrolling our streets. And what's going on right now in Los Angeles? Trump has unleashed the National Guards in Los Angeles, California, and it's getting wild, okay? This says, following the breakout of protests in LA, Trump did not invoke the Insurrection Act, but rather a specific provision in the U.S. Code on Armed Services. It says the National Guard troops can be placed under federal command when there is a rebellion or the danger of a rebellion against the authority of the United States. Potential of danger or rebellion. So when AI is running against anything and every communication that we have, and it picks up that you're pro-Jesus, anti-government rhetoric, they could say that you are a danger to the authority of the U.S. and they'll use the military to round you up. 2 days ago, Seattle Times, agents use military-style force against protesters. Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol are airdropping tactical gear by chopper to ground agents in LA. Tactical gear. Breaking. Pete Hegseth warns that active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton would also be mobilized to quell Los Angeles riots. They are on high alert. My son's in the military. He just left Camp Pendleton. Thank God he's not there. The U.S. Marines to be deployed against United States citizens. Now, I showed this AI generated video the other day, but this is what our future is about to look like. Are y'all going to be persuaded, crystal blue persuasion, to leave what is right in God and go along with the new world?
Historic step forward in our national security. Let's go live to reporter Sarah Martinez at the registration center downtown.
More than 50,000 people have come here this morning to register. This is the future of secure identification,
linking identity, healthcare, and payments in one verified system.
When the mark of the beast is introduced, countries will present it as a matter of national security. Every financial institution, from the banks, hospital, and even supermarkets, will state that it is a requirement that you have the mark.
I'm sorry, but without the mark, we can no longer provide you access.
Banks won't allow you to access any funds without it. And supermarkets won't allow you to purchase any goods without it.
You'll need to get registered before you can shop here, sir.
Hospitals won't treat any patient who hasn't been marked.
I'm sorry, ma'am, we can't proceed without your digital mark.
The mark of the beast won't be branded as evil. No. The mark will be incentivized. Early takers will be offered discounts and access to products and services. Then, gradually, those benefits will be exclusive, only to be available for the marked. They'll call it modern convenience. You'll call it a small price to pay, until the day you can't eat without it. Can't travel.
Reminder, all riders must verify digital identity before boarding.
Can't breathe in society.
I'm sorry, sir, we can't proceed without verification.
Unless you bear the symbol. You see, when the mark of the beast is introduced, the Antichrist will make life without it so difficult that many will simply cave into the pressure. Mark of the beast is introduced, you will see churches will be split down the middle. Pastors who once preached a sugar-coated gospel of comfort will fall silent, exposed under the weight of truth they never dared to speak.
I don't know what to say anymore.
Some will endorse the mark. Their deception will have no bounds. They will call it a blessing, a new beginning.
This is a blessing, a new beginning.
They'll say,
God understands.
And many will follow, blind and relieved to no longer feel the sting of conviction.
Another extremist has been identified, unmarked, uncooperative, a danger to peace.
They'll be hunted not because they harm, but because they refuse to bow down to the man of lawlessness. When the mark of the beast is introduced, technology will become the enforcer.
Scan complete. Scan complete. No mark detected.
Drones, scanners, surveillance will be the eyes of the beast.
And there will be eyes and weapons all over the skies. Look at this drone show in China. And America is going to have these drones too.
Definitely capitalizing on drone swarms, as you can plainly see in this video. They're also struggling to find out ways that they can counter drone swarms as well. Now, recently, China's conducted air defense drills in order to test its capabilities against drone swarms. And even the CCTV report from the Chinese state broadcaster said that they were only able to achieve about a 40% damage rate against a drone swarm with their first round of anti-aircraft artillery that was launched. Now, the thing about drone swarms that's What's not something that's commonly discussed is the fact that they can integrate diverse tactics into being used, such as like a drone swarm could divert fires by sending off a group in one direction while another direction swarms in at a different angle in order to strike weakened defenses, for example. Now, there's a lot of direct energy weapons and like broad spectrum beam weapons that are out there that can be used to counter these things. And I know I heard it on the Sean Ryan podcast as well, that we've got stuff that can take out drones pretty well at this point. But as far as deploying it on a massive scale, that I don't know.
Does the United States have drone swarms like China? Yes, the U.S., so these drones can be unleashed on Americans. Yes, the U.S. and China are both actively developing and testing drone swarms for military purposes. Of course, it won't be used against civilians. Oh, wait. The president has okayed militarizing local police. So this will be used against American citizens. The U.S. and China are both actively developing and testing drone swarms for military purposes. The U.S. is facing the challenge in defending against these drone swarms, particularly when they are small and fast. Both countries are exploring the use of artificial intelligence in these drone swarms, with the U.S. particularly focusing on intelligence and autonomous vehicles for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Revelation 13:4 says, "And the inhabitants of the earth, they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him?" The military grade weapons and the technology and the surveillance and the tracking, who will be able to make war with him? Our only hope is in Jesus, and everything's coming into play. Biometrics experience, policy, and tools must converge to transform lives. Could digital ID control pandemics? Digital identity, particularly when integrated with digital health technologies, can be a powerful tool for managing and potentially controlling pandemics. 50 and 5 Digital Public Infrastructure Campaign adds Jamaica and Mexico. New entrants in the UNDP initiative brings membership to 24. And whose idea was this? The UN, Bill Gates, and the Rockefeller Foundation launched the 50 and 5 agenda to make digital IDs, vaccine passports, and central bank digital currency mandatory to participate in society by 2030. And we've talked about it. They said it's going to be called a social contract between citizens and their government. So I made me a note via data. This is what Doge and Palantir are doing while they are collecting data. How is a person's information downloaded into an RFID microchip? Quote, inputting and formatting the data. The desired person's data, their identification number, medical information, payment credentials is entered into the software. The software converts this data into a format suitable for wireless transmission to the tag. So all of your information has to be centralized in a centralized database so that they can, like when you want to back up something on your computer, you go to the file, you click send to external hard drive or whatever. All of your information in that file you're sending over to an external device. It would be the same thing, taking all of each person's centralized information in a file, like on your desktop, of Terri Lynn, my birthday, my social security number, where I live, my family information, my banking information, my health information, everything in there, and the government coming in right click and clicking to send to external RFID chip. Then they're going to put it in the little injectable syringe or whatever, the little gun thing, and inject it into your skin. And then it will be a readable external device that all of your information will be in. Palantir's unchecked surveillance empire. How a CIA-backed data giant threatens liberty and fuels global oppression. It says Trump militarizing the local police departments within 90 days. They all have to be militarized. That was starting April 28th. Palantir has spy equipment in law enforcement. Palantir's Gotham Europora intelligence and law enforcement agencies around the world have relied on Palantir to power their most critical work. So when you go to Palantir's page, there it is. September 2024, the path to digital identity in the United States. Digital IDs are a more convenient, secure, and versatile option than physical IDs, but few Americans currently have one. Now, Real ID just got passed under Trump. With the right investments and collaboration between federal and state governments, Americans could realize the full potential of the digital ID. Now, why is Trump militarizing the police? To go after the non-compliant? And we read that RFID chips can be used for compliance to government policies. So that means he would need an enforcement arm to the compliance of his policies. And he wrote an executive order. By the authority invested in me as the president and by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, and in order to promote United States leadership in digital assets and financial technology while protecting economic liberty, it is hereby ordered as the following. Okay? And he's going to give 90 days. Let's see if I can find this. Oh, I have the digital currency executive order open. Strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals. The people that don't want to take it, to protect the people that do have it. 90 days. Using the national security assets for law and order within 90 days of the date of this order, which was April 28th, the Attorney General Pam Bondi and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, in consultation with the Secretary of Homeland Security and the heads of agencies as appropriate, shall increase the provision of excess military and national security assets in local jurisdictions to assist state and local law enforcement. Drones, airdropping tactical gear, bulletproof vehicles. Trump is putting all this at local law enforcement. Why? Y'all think about this. Trump is halfway to making America a police state. Now look at Trump's executive order that he wrote January 23rd, 3 days after he took over office. 24 times the word digital is in this. Strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology. Providing regulatory clarity and certainty built on technology-neutral regulations, supporting a vibrant and inclusive digital economy, taking measures to protect Americans from risk of CBDCs. Oh, left off this part. Supporting a vibrant and inclusive digital economy and innovation in digital assets, permissionless blockchains, and distributed ledger technologies. Establishment of the president's working group on digital assets. Your house can be turned into a digital asset. Your cars can be turned into a digital asset. Your bank accounts. There is hereby established within the National Economic Council to the President's Working Group on Digital Asset Markets. The working group shall be chaired by the Special Advisor of AI and Crypto Chair. In addition to the chair, the working group shall include the following officials: Secretary of Treasury, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretary of Commerce, Secretary of Homeland Security, the Director of Office Management and Budget, the Assistant to the President of National Security Affairs, the Assistant to the President for National Economic Policy, the Assistant to the President for Science and Technology, Homeland Security Advisor, the Chairman for Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Chairman of Commodity Future Trading. Is the digital ID foundation to digital assets? Yes, a digital ID can be considered the foundation for accessing and managing digital assets. You have to know how to word the questions you're asking to come to the truth. Is your house a digital asset? No, your house is not a digital asset in the traditional sense. But ask it, can houses be tokenized? Yes, houses and other real estate can be tokenized, meaning their ownership can be represented as digital tokens on a blockchain. This allows for fractional ownership, making real estate investment more accessible and liquid. Are tokens digital assets? Yes, tokens, which your house can be tokenized, and they are digital assets, and Trump is writing an executive order on controlling digital assets. Yes, tokens are a type of digital asset. They are digital representations of value, ownership, or rights, typically built on top of existing blockchain networks. Remember, you'll own nothing and be happy? Are tokenized houses a shared asset? Yes, tokenized houses represent a form of shared asset ownership. Tokenization splits the ownership of timeshares of property into digital tokens. So whoever owns more digital tokens has a bigger share of the property, allowing multiple investors to own fractions of the real estate. Each token represents a share in the rights and ownerships of the underlying physical asset. What Trump's win could mean for digital assets. Trump's foray into digital assets. Trump's initial coin offering, so your money can be digital assets, released 200 million tokens to the public. Trump signed an executive order promoting U.S. leadership in digital assets and financial technology. Trump is ushering in the golden age of digital assets. Can your car be tokenized? Yes, cars can be tokenized. Tokenization is the process of converting a real-world asset like a car or a house into a digital representation, a token, on the blockchain. This digital token represents ownership or other rights related to the car and can be securely stored and traded on the blockchain or taken away from you if you're a non-compliant little boy or girl. Is digital identity that can be RFID chip implanted in you the future of humanity? The digital ID is likely to become central to future interactions. Digital identities are becoming the foundation for our rapidly evolving technology based on data-driven economy and society. And you can be stripped of everything that you own once they tokenize all your earthly possessions and put on the blockchain and give it away to other people. Kuwait plans biometrics and DNA checks to revoke or confirm citizenship. Your country could revoke your citizenship. And then what would they do? Deport the people that aren't legal citizens in their country? Send you to a gulag, you unsubmissive non-person without a country, you non-citizen you? We're about to revoke your citizenship. So the RFID chips are coming soon to a pharmacy near you, just like the vaccines came to a pharmacy near you. And governments and mayors and governors and presidents, heads of the pharmaceutical companies, they all use persuasion to convince people to go get the devil juice. They persuaded you to get you to do something that they wanted you to do. When they roll out the RFID chip, are they going to persuade you to do that? Don't forget.
Cases in North Carolina?
33. There was 33 everywhere. I think that was Red Team Go. I think 33 is like Red Team Go. Everybody goes, okay, let's do it. It's time. Yeah, dude, there's like literally 1,033s and 33 new cases. 33 people died in fucking Hong Kong.
The number 33, we all know what that represents.
We have 33 confirmed positive tests.
We have 33 Pennsylvanians who have tested positive for
COVID-19.
Today we have 33 cases.
There were 33 new cases.
The state of Minnesota today reported 33 new COVID-19 related deaths.
There are 33 confirmed cases in Arkansas.
That's the largest single-day increase so far, raising the total to 33.
33.
There were 33 confirmed cases in North Carolina.
33. There was 33 everywhere. I think that was Red Team Go.
Everything is going to start ramping up. They're calling 2025 the year of the digital ID. How soon it will be before the digital ID is on your phone, off of your phone, into your body, who knows? We saw a couple articles that said 2027. Who knows? It could roll out quicker. They are on a mission. The Bible says that the devil knows his time is short. So they see their opportunity and they're taking it. And the digital ID is foundational to everything else that they want to build on. Digital ID, tracking and surveillance. So if they use persuasive talk to come get this and selling it as a benefit, do not be persuaded. This is the mark of the beast. You will not be able to participate in society. They're calling it a contract with the government. And Bill Gates said you will not be able to participate in society if you're not part of this new technology. You will be locked out. Do not take it. No matter how good they sell it and make it look, no matter how persuasive they are. I've shared this before, but remember, this is the man who worked on developing the digital ID, and he calls it the mark of the beast, the RFID.
I talked about my involvement in the development of a little microchip implant. And many people have already taken that microchip implant. The news media has talked about it being a good thing. And they will tell you that it's a good thing to have this. Your children won't ever get lost again. They won't be able to give you the wrong medication. They won't be able to, you won't be able to lose this thing. And so the plan is underway that you will receive it. I would be remiss if I came to you and didn't tell you that God's word says, don't you take it. No matter how nice they make it sound. Tonight in the Science of Technology, I'm going to be showing you some things. I want you to understand that there is a conditioning that is done in people.
Charter City is stunned by the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel. And even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
No, it's not free. It will cost you your eternal soul. That's the highest price you can pay. Don't be persuaded by the conditioning that is going on. How much have you read online that the people that took the vaccine wish they wouldn't have taken it? Well, this next phase is not going to be, I wish I wouldn't have taken it. It's going to be sealing your faith. Do not fall for the lie of the devil. Now listen to this brother's warning and how heavy his spirit is of what's going on.
My wife yesterday that I'm so burdened and I don't even know how to put this burden into words to explain the level of sadness that I feel. I look around the landscape of the world and I see the lost just pursuing the world, pursuing their desires, pursuing lies and deception. They have no eyes to see. And for them, my heart cries out. I just pray that the lost would hear the gospel, would hear the good news of Jesus Christ, and they would repent and believe. Because I know on the other side of this is eternity. Everyone will live for eternity. It's just where will we live? It's where will we live for eternity? And then on the other side of it, I see my brothers and sisters in Christ who are being fed false gospels, who are apathetic in their faith, who lack zeal for Jesus Christ. And it makes me wonder if they've ever met the real Jesus, because it's hard for me to understand how someone could meet the biblical Jesus, the authentic Jesus of the scriptures, the one who rose from death, and live apathetic. And so a lot of what I share online is really geared towards waking up the masses. It's geared towards my love for people. And so I'll keep sharing truth. But it is this burden that I feel that is just heavy. And so badly do I want the world to change.
I pray that the eyes of your understanding would be enlightened and that you would have ears to hear and eyes to see the hour that we are in. Choices are about to have to be made. And the book of Romans says it is time to awaken from your slumber. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. God bless y'all in Jesus' name. Stay connected to Jesus. If you appreciate the content that I bring on this channel, would you prayerfully consider a small love offering for the ministry? Your kindness keeps the videos able to keep being produced. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye.